Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. This is the Sunday night show. I'm Gav, as usual. It's Keith, it's Emma, it's Shawnee. Liverpool are 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. They're 5 wins from 5, and everything is great. We're not playing well. We've gears to find, and nobody can keep up with us, which is fantastic. Emma, I'm going to come to you first, and I'm going to start at the end of the weekend and work our way back a little bit. Not sustainable. Can't keep doing this. Lucky injury time. First time there's ever been 3 minutes in injury time in about 8 years. And Liverpool sit 15 from 15, and the rest are clutching at our coattails to try keep up. It's good, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Yeah. Well, we're going out doing absolutely everything we can in whatever amount of minutes that they give us to try and win games. And then you've got teams that's supposed to be our closest challenger that's going out just not to lose games. So, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Arteta has shown again today, like he did against Liverpool, that his arse is going like a rabbit's nose when it comes up against teams like that. And for me, why couldn't he have started the game with the same? Not that I want them to go and win, but if you want to go and win that game, you need to start with the team that you started the second half with. Maybe maybe not even with both of them. Maybe leave Saka off because I think Madweki has done really, really well for Arsenal since going in there. Really well. I was actually surprised to see him come off. But Eze, like Marino for Eze, I said it to you before the game. One simple change, Marino for Eze, and he could go and easily beat them by two or three because you've said it yourself, Gav. Man City are there for the taking. I never in my life thought I would see them set up the way they did after going ahead. But needs must. Pep is saying that lads are tired, lads are only coming back from injury, but there was absolutely no excuse whatsoever for Arsenal not to go out there and try and beat them today because they're there for the taking, and he's too risk averse for me. He's starting with essentially seven defensively minded players when Man City are there to be got, and then the best defense in the Premier League, and then it looks like Keystone Cops for Haaland. Now I know Haaland put the afterburners on, but these are supposed to be two of the best defenders in the world, and he just breezed by. It looked like Gabriel was running with concrete boots on, trying to get back for him. But I don't know. It's just like a mental block I think that Arteta has when it comes to beating these. It's all well and good not being beaten by these in X amount of minutes or X amount of times, but how many times have you actually gone and beaten them? Celebrating a draw. Like, for example, I had an argument with somebody in the short space of time between the end of that game and now on TikTok, believe it or not. When they scored that goal, they all ran, including the captain, Rice, over to the corner to celebrate with the Arsenal fans. Now, if that's Liverpool or even Man City, there's two, three lads in that net scrambling to get that ball to get it back to the halfway line to try and go and win it. There was still 5 minutes of injury time left. This guy told me it's they add it on at the end, so the time doesn't matter. I said it's not a time. This is not a time issue. This is a mentality issue. Mentally, they were absolutely delighted with a draw there, whereas mentally they should have been trying to scramble that ball back to the halfway line and going and getting a winner. I think the manager is probably mentally weak, and that basically then leaks into his players. And that's what I think we're seeing with Arsenal. They don't. I don't think I said it before and after the Liverpool game. I just don't think they have the minerals to go and do what it takes to actually go and win a league title.
Mm. Keith, you look at that game, and and I'll hold my hands up. I wanted City to win, because I'd rather a 6 point lead than a 5 point lead, and it's nothing to do, with is it Arsenal, is it City. I just want to be as far ahead as we possibly can. I'm not too bothered by either of them, but Keith, Arsenal have been primed as this, or put up as this. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. They sign Hincapi, and they put it on their social media, the final piece of their jigsaw, etc., etc. So they're really committing themselves to, we've done everything we possibly can so we can go and win this league. But this feels very deja vu from Arsenal. Now I know they spanked City 4-5, might be last season or the season before. I can't remember which one it was. They get a couple of goals near the end, but after that game, I said it in our WhatsApp group, it's another chance for Arsenal to lay down a marker, and they failed. And we're games into a season, and they've played, fair enough, they're 5 points off the lead. They've played us and they've played City. But in both games, they haven't gone out and went, we've put this squad together. This is what we're all about, and now you watch us go. It seems to be the same old from Arsenal, where it's don't go out, don't lose the game, just don't lose the game. They can't get out of this flat track bully mentality for me. Beat the other 14 in the league and take what you can off the top six, and it should be enough. It won't be enough, Keith. It simply won't be enough.
No, I think Emma made a great point about the mentality there. Celebrating with the fans and all that when you're on top of a team and you have them on the ropes, it's a sign of weakness. Now, I seen Declan Rice at the end of the game was saying they've gained City's respect because City, you never see City. I'll read out the exact thing, actually. I was just reading it there. Declan Rice, we have gained the respect of Manchester City. They know the quality we have. In my time here at Arsenal, we haven't dominated a game like that against Man City as we did today. A point is fair. They went to a back five, which I've never seen them do. They were obviously trying to hang on. Some neck, because they sort of matched up the way Arsenal do line up as well. Three at the back, to wing backs, centre backs playing at full back, defensive midfielders playing in number 10s, all that sort of shit. And it was just a game where I think Arsenal again have shown that where they should be stepping on the throat and trying to look, a point can be seen as a good point in a big game like that, but realistically, if you want to push through the ceiling, you want to get to the top, you have to turn them points into wins at home when you're dominating a team like that, who are obviously, look, in a way, right, Man City were just thrown on defenders. You'd never do see that, but I thought it was nearly a case of, right, break us down, because we don't fancy us to break us down. Now, they got one in the end, but as Emmett said, he could have got another one if that was, Liverpool, certainly Klopp's Liverpool, they'd have been bleeding, scrapping in that net to get that ball back up to the halfway line. They wouldn't have been going doing bleeding, choreographed dances and all that sort of shit with the crowd. But it's a sign that, to me, that Arsenal are no different than last season. They're the same Arsenal. They've just brought a load of new lads in, and could come back to bite me, you know what I mean? But I don't see the improvement in them. They harked on about a goal scorer. They look no better with bleeding Gyökeres there, who, in fairness, a few lads here have highlighted as a pudding for a while and had red flags all over him. He's not a difference maker there. They're still just very negative. They're still very dour. They still approach these games with a mentality of not lose. Who's the biggest lads I have? Like, Eze comes on, gets on the ball, makes things happen, but he's starting behind Marino. Marino gets a lot of goals, granted, gets them for Spain. But he's just in there for aerial threat. He's just in there for set pieces, and they still play off set pieces. They still look for set pieces. They still look for all them little advantages they can get. And some people would say, look, it's a tactic. And it is. It's like there's more than one ways to play football. It's like Burnley parking the bus and being really unlucky that he didn't stifle Liverpool out last week. It's not all about playing attractive football. But if you want to be the best team in England and the best team in Europe, you have to offer more in an attacking sense than what Arsenal are doing. There's a fear about them. They play within themselves. And until that changes, I don't think they'll win the league. Leagues are won on defence, absolutely. Liverpool done it with great defences. Man City have done it with great defences. Arsenal are saying that's what they're going to build it on. But they had great attacks as well, these teams. And this Arsenal team has shown no ambition or endeavour to break teams down and score goals. And until they do that, they won't win, in my opinion. There's a media narrative around, Arsenal have to win. They've been so close, they have to win. To me, it's just a coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's another year of will they, won't they, or a gallant second place will probably be on the horizon for them. So, look, Liverpool are doing the business. That's all I want to see. But I'm delighted. A draw, great. You were saying you'd rather have a City win there, Gav. I'd rather both of them lose. Both of them.
No, I'm just saying for the fact that it'd be 6 points.
I know what you mean. I'm being flippant, but I'd much rather be getting chased by Arsenal than Man City getting into any sort of bleeding semblance of form. So a draw was the ideal result for us here. And that's how I felt, you know what I mean? I get what you're saying, but that's just my take.
Yeah, I suppose City have the history of if you give them a fucking bump and push them on their way, they can become a
muscle memory,
Yeah, and they become a juggernaut, and they can go and win fucking 15 on the trot. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? Shawnee, you know, people are probably tuning in going, why are we talking about Arsenal? But it was the biggest game of the weekend, and it's the one that outside of ours, which we've done a post-match show on and we'll talk about here, and we're going to do another one on tomorrow. Outside of us, it was the big game of the weekend for us as well to watch. And, you commented on it before. You went, look, I think we are discussing how City were there to be got at, because they're inexperienced at left back. They've a centre half playing at right back. Rodri's only coming back. And it's kind of like this 4-1-4-1 sort of formation, and you can get at them. And then you turn around and went, yeah, but look at the Arsenal lineup. They've gone 4 at the back. You can probably show Yuri Timber in there as a right back, but is he a centre back as well? And then you've got Mourinho, you've got Zubamendi, and you've Rice, and they all play a defensive game for Arsenal. Maybe Rice breaks out at times. And you said to me, all of us, you said, it's just a negative lineup.
Like, something that shocked me today as well from both sides. I was looking at the game today, and we all have questions around City. I don't know. I think Pep might have run out of puff, to be honest with you. I think he might be a busted flush. And what was telling for me from Man City side was the way they were celebrating winning tackles and corners and clearances today was telling to me. I was going, well, that's not very Man City like that's very Arsenal thing to be doing when you're 1-0 up and you're celebrating every tackle or something. It's something I never really, and then I kind of realised going, if these are second and third in the league, I think we're going to be all right. And the reason why I say that is because I'll forever question Arsenal to go under Arteta, because I think as a manager, he's similar as he was as a player. He was pragmatic and sort of system based, and he comes from Man City, goes into Arsenal. I think he's lucky to get that job, because Arsenal is one of the institutions of English football, and I think he does well to get that job, considering he's no real experience, and he had no real experience. And they got really close that year when they're 8 points clear, and they get battered at the Etihad. And I think since then, his whole MO has changed in terms of, I'm not going to go and take a league by the scruff of the neck. I'm just going to be pragmatic and dogged and try to dog my way through. And what they did in the summer was, okay, what can we do in terms of spicing up this squad? Well, you know what? I'll just buy a gunman fella who'll run over the small teams and probably get me 15, 16 goals, and that'll turn the 13 draws that we had last year into maybe another 8 wins. And we'll be closer there or thereabouts. But I think the setup is wrong. I think I think the next thing that'll happen is, I think there'll be a bit of mutiny in the squad, and some of the bigger players will turn against him. I think you have Saliba and Saka who are up for contract extension, and I'm going deeper here, Gav, because you can just kind of look at it on the surface and say, yeah, they're 5 points behind after 5 games. But I think when you start to look at what's going on there at Arsenal, I don't think he has the minerals. I don't think the squad has to go again. The equalising the 90 minute, and that knee sliding into the corner. You look at that fan base; they're always looking for an angle and a way that this is everyone bad, Arsenal good, and this is going against us, and this team are getting this amount at a time. And Liverpool play Palace next week, and their best players out, and I think mentally weak people, fan bases, like conclave, or whatever way you want to put it, they always look as to why it's not working out for them. They look outward. When I think of Arsenal start looking inward, it will come fast apparent that the manager at the top just hasn't got the fucking balls to get it done. This is the worst Pep side I've seen under Man City since he's been there. I think they're infinitely gettable. You seen what Thomas Frank done, who I think is a top class operator. He went in there and just done a job on them. You can kind of forgive Arteta for his approach at Anfield, because he's going there and you're kind of going, well, these are definitely the one. Bilbao away in Europe, you're kind of going, yeah, it's your first away game in Europe. You want to get points on the board. I get it. But today at home to a Man City side who, when you look at that back four, I don't think it's any great shakes. You look at that midfield three, yeah, Reinders has been a good signing, but they don't frighten you like they used to. They don't have that cutthroat quality that now the goal they get is great, but they don't have that steely determination where they're just going to keep the ball and they're going to hold you as soon as you make a mistake. They scored and they went into the shell because they're not the same team that they were. And Arteta went into that game knowing that more or less like a win today and a win next week for them would have just literally it's a rocket up their hole coming out of the next international break to go, right, you know what, we're into it now. It's 3 games a week and we're right on it. And whatever about Liverpool maybe not being at their best, it's time to put the pressure on. But no, he rocked up today again with the same pragmatic approach. And I think what he's actually probably done as well in the main is he gets to half time and he takes Madueke off, who's been their best player this year. He's been our best player this year. It's a complete wrong signal to be sending out to squad players. Now, don't get me wrong, Saka's fucking brilliant, and he's ran him into the ground. This is another facet.
He's reverting to the lads he ran into the ground.
He should have with Trossard. And put the 2 of them on either wing.
Yeah, but you know what? Do you know what screams? I made the wrong decision more than anything else. Fixing it in panic at half time the way he did. Simple as that. He did. It just goes to show he had actually no belief in his own approach. He probably thought I'd keep it up. And I've heard the shy all week. I watch all them panel shows, and when I say watch, I mean they're probably on in the background, and I'm kind of listening tentatively, not really. Oh, we're gonna concede less goals than Mourinho, Chelsea. All this, the big hoo-ha, the big build-up. That Arsenal are the same. It's all farting now shit, and it's been that way for a long time under Arteta, and that's just the way I feel about them. I genuinely do. Ray is supposed to be the best keeper in the league. Saliba and Gabriel are fucking Carvalho and Terry incarnate. Like, you know what I mean? We're lucky to be watching these fellas. Timber, best right back in the league. You know what? He probably is. Your man Calafiori, I don't know what he is. He's a fucking... He runs around. I don't know whether he's centre half. Yeah, that plays like a left winger. I don't know what the story is with him. Zubamendi's a fucking crab. Declan Rice doesn't know what he is. And then you have Moreno in there who 1 week they're telling you he's the box crashing false 9 and then he's a holding midfielder. They don't know. I just think with the thing is what Arsenal is, there's a fucking, it's just been one huge big identity crisis with them. You can see the way the whole Sesko thing, Gyökeres wanted, they even want him. He doesn't suit the way they play. He's an off-the-shoulder striker that's running into yards. Arsenal have literally played horseshoe football for the last 2 years. If anyone knows what that is, it's literally you camp on your box and we'll just pass it around you until you either move out of position or give away a free and we'll try and nick you on a set piece. And there can be Arsenal fans there who can sit there and argue till the cows come home. That's just the fucking stark reality of it. That's what they've done. That's what they built the whole thing around. That's what they built the whole premise on. Nick a goal here and win. He would have loved to go 1-0 up there and he would have kept that way for the whole thing and they would have finished the game with 7 centre-backs on the pitch and none of them lads getting a run out. And the way they celebrating all that full time, like, I've never seen it with them. You've know I've constantly been cynical of them, and to be honest with you, I won't be paying much mind in them until they change Gaffer, because I genuinely think he comes up with a new phrase every week. It's just pure word salad with him, and they swallow it like fucking by the buckle because they're the most gaslightable fan base. And the one he said last week that when he pulled your man on BT saying that they're not substitutes, they're finishers. Like, have you ever? Where is this shit coming from?
He never shut up about it today.
And it's
this
a rugby.
What he means by finishers.
It's a rugby term. That they're not substitutes that are as important as the lads who start the game. Like, you're not fucking rewriting the rules here, Chief. You know what I mean? You have a squad to bring strong players on to help you win games in the second half.
But why can't he just come out and say?
Because Gav,
I have a really big squad. I have a really good quality squad. They're all as good as each other. And he always has to qualify everything with something that sounds like it's, you know,
it's word salad. It's pure word salad. It's pure verbal diarrhea, and they swallow it up every time. And they'll have the lads on the Soccer Saturday giving you all these fucking stupid, meaningless stats that don't mean fucking anything. They're going on about this fella like fucking Martin Odegaard is this, that, and the other. Like, fucking honestly, like Moldova guard, his name should be, because that's the only time he shows up is when fucking Norway are playing Moldova in a World Cup qualifier or fucking Gibraltar. Like that, and he's that captain. Yeah. He's that captain. You hear all this shit. You seen Gabriel today after 7 minutes waving the crowd up. And don't get me started on North London forever. Like,
no, we can't, Charlie. We haven't enough time.
Like, They're from Woolwich. They're from Woolwich. Like they were couldn't be further away from North London where the club was fucking founded. So I just I never get it with them. And you know what? Again, I kind of probably starting to sound like the number one member of the Roy Keane fan club. If I'm gonna listen to anyone talk about winning titles, it's gonna be Roy Keane, and you only have to listen to him at the end of every week. He's kind of like going, "What is it with them? Like, what is it with them?" And are the Mourinho team that were just fucking solid as a rock but would bang you on the break or beat you any way or the other? Or are they're just a team full of lads who are 6'4", 7" and they look to nick you on a set piece? Like,
You see,
it's fucking I've never
but you're asking
with
what
them,
they
and
are. You're asking what they are, right? And
they're
people say,
pretenders. That's what they are.
and Emmett's saying there, you make one change and you make one change in that starting lineup. I'm saying this ages. Arsenal are a team, a squad, right? And forget the manager for a minute. But that squad to me, right, you either do two things, like you said. You go out and you say, we're going to be solid as fuck, but Saka, Martinelli, Madueke, Gyökeres, Odegaard, whoever, even Rice, powerful runner, right? We're going to, when we're in transition, we're going to fucking kill you, right? And we're going to make no apologies about it. We're going to watch videos of fucking Gerard Houllier's Liverpool from the late 90s into the early 2000s who sat in and killed you, right? Or you go the other way, which this is the way I think they should go. They should come out and decide that they're better than other teams. And I include Man City in that, and go out and go, listen, we're playing 4 at the back, we're playing 3 up front, we're playing 2 lads in the middle of midfield, and we're playing a fella ahead of them. And I mean, even if you wanted to be Rice, but play him up against the front man. And what we're going to do is we're going to pen you in, right? And we're going to trust these 2 brilliant centre-backs to deal with anything that goes up. We're going to have loads of creativity, loads of running off the ball. Very much again, like Liverpool of 18, 19, 19, 20, 19, 20 in particular, where we pen teams in and went, if you want to kick the ball up air end, fine. Our 2 centre-backs will deal with it all fucking day. We back them every day of the week. But when we get it back, we're coming straight back at you. But we're going to make it a fucking nightmare for you to get out of your own half. But they don't. They're caught in this kind of purgatory where they don't know whether to be full on, we're better than you, or we can't concede. Right? And they get caught in this middle ground where the game is nearly played between 2 boxes and they don't know where to be. And look at the City goal. That's what he's afraid of. That is his worst nightmare right there. One 5-yard pass in midfield, right? And their 2 centre halves are all, well, not Saliba. He has to cover the runner. But the other centre half, like Emmett said, he's running like me, right? And I can't fucking run very much. You know what I mean? As much as a fucking professional footballer should. But he cannot get back, and they're exposed. They're absolutely exposed because centre halves are great at being centre halves. But when they're playing as fullbacks, Calafiori, that movement of a forward from outside to in, it's different to a centre-back. It's like when Joe Gomez played right back. I fucking hated it because he had the ability to play and see the game as a centre-back. Seeing as a fullback is completely different. It's different position, it's different angles, it's different covering, it's getting close to your centre-half and from cross from the far side, all that sort of stuff. And that goal there today, actually, you know what? He'll probably tell you after the game his approach is justified because when we got caught once, look what happened to us. And he's caught in a purgatory here. And I do agree with you. I think it's the manager. He should actually just go and go, you're better than them, go and beat them.
Yeah, exactly. And some like football is like sometimes you have to always earn the right to play football if you want to be a footballing side. And sometimes it's just most of the time at the top level it's just down to we've better players than you. And simple as that, and let them go play. But like my question to Arsenal fans and even to you is like, you might be able to tell me because I don't see it, and that doesn't mean I'm the fucking the all seeing the Ayatollah of fucking the whole lot of football and what's going on. But what does the best version of this Arsenal look like? What are they good at and what did he do? How different are they to what we're seeing now? And how much of it are they going to run us close? And like the one thing you really don't want is you don't want teams questioning your gut or your mentality. They're the 2 things you can't be in question if you're going to be in a title race. It's just it can't be done. If someone's already questioning you, you're kind of going what? And you seen all you needed to see there with the fucking celebrations of the equaliser. Like you seen the way it is. Like we're the complete fucking opposite. We've got pegged back in games now, and I swear to God, I've said it to you, like Burnley and Atletico, I knew we were going to win. I knew we were going to win. I just knew it. I was sitting there going, we'll win this game. because and that's what they do. Newcastle, I was kind of going, oh, I'll take a fucking draw. But you know who knew he was going to win? Slot. Because what does he do? I'm going to throw. Do you know what can I do here? Will I fucking throw this Leone lad on and give him his debut? Or do you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, they're down to 10. But when 11 minutes went up on the board at St. James's Park, the fucking home fans were raucous because they thought they were going to get a win. And what does Slot do? I'm going to throw Elliot on, who caused a bit of hassle in there if he gets on the ball, and I'm going to put a fucking 16-year-old kid on who might give us a bit of something. And that's exactly what he done. And he had the balls then to do it again against Atletico. And that is the difference in a nutshell. And that's the outlook. Liverpool are going to take grab games and pull them by the scruff of the neck. The Arsenal fan base now are mute. They're all on top of each other over Thierry Henry, saying this fella's a failed manager, this, that, and the other. What does he know? He's probably our greatest ever player because he's calling Arteta out on a fucking major league stage, on a major scale, saying, look, listen, it's not going to get it done just rocking up and going, well, beat us. You know what I mean? If Liverpool had done that same, beat us, like a boxer, if you want to beat a champion, you have to fucking beat the champion. There has to be no question. They're not going to sit there and just slug it out with us. I genuinely don't see it because, again, I'm saying it again, and I'll finish with Arsenal on this. I'm not sure what the best version of them looks like, but I don't think they're actually too far off it. I think they're playing.
The best version of them is what you see in the second half, and it's not about the players; it's the mentality. It's how you want to play.
Again, and we haven't even started yet. We haven't even got going.
No, we haven't got out of bed yet.
No,
like,
and I'm not being funny. Like, and you're seeing all of this shit. It's not sustainable. This, that, and the other. Like, Liverpool are more likely to go that way than they are to go that way.
Yeah.
They're like we're way closer to getting better than we are to slipping into this sort of, like we had to worry. We seen Gravenberch comes back then into the team, and we're flying by creating chances at will. Like the first half yesterday and the first half against Atletico, you're thinking, Jesus Christ, they're really starting to pour. And I still don't. And I'm saying it since the start of the season. Well, all the change and what's going on in the background at Liverpool, I'm not expecting to see the best was until late November, early December when it's starting to kick. And again, you do need luck with injuries and stuff like that. But again, like I was half thinking, how did Liverpool win the league this year? And I'm thinking to myself, just being in around October, November, but we're gaining a point every week.
Yeah. Well, of the games that are there where we've played, I think we've gained 5 on the or maybe 4 on the games we've played, the equivalent to last season. I'm going to change.
I mean, and we've had tough games as well. Yeah, we've had tough games. I looked at, like, they've played Leeds, they've played United, they've played Forest, and they've played us, and they've played City. Yeah. They failed the Liverpool test completely, and I'd argue today was even worse for them. But
yeah, they were at home today.
Yeah, like we've gone to Newcastle, which have been a pig of a side. Bournemouth, who have been very good since the start of the year. Burnley, all right, Burnley, but haven't lost there in fucking 14 months. We beat City. We beat Arsenal, and then we turned them over in the derby. So, look, I'm happy with how the
listen, Bournemouth haven't been beaten since we beat them. Neither have Newcastle. Yeah, exactly. Arsenal only conceded their second goal of the season so far today, and then you've got Burnley and a derby. There's been something, bar maybe the Burnley game, but the rest of the games there's been a narrative to them as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I think Bournemouth are a really, really good side. Newcastle's a really tough place to go to, and then Arsenal are coming to you to set up not to lose, and then you go and rip one into the top corner, from a free kick, 83rd minute. Like, so it's we've had a tough old slog. If I'm being honest, Burnley only conceded 14 goals or something last year.
When they want to set,
something like that. But when they want to set up not to concede, they'll take points off other teams at Tough Moor.
Anyway, I'm going to change the subject completely, Emma, and I want you to talk to me about Ryan Gravenberch. We watched him arrive at Liverpool, and we were like, he was getting in the team, he wasn't, he was in and out, and, you know, Klopp was kind of phasing him in, and then probably a bit unsure where to put him, and we thought he was going to be this marauding number 8, and, he was going to be this, that, and the other. And last season we seen him playing at the base of a midfield on his own, and he started the season off brilliantly. I think Liverpool tired a certain part of the season, and he was kind of emphasised because he was tired himself, and Liverpool were conceding more chances and a little bit more open. But this season, they've kind of dropped someone in beside him, and I just think it's perfect for him. I'm watching games now and I'm like, well, you can't really focus on Ryan Gravenberch. There's another fella there looking for the ball off the defenders and different things like that. So you have to leave more room around him, and he's the drop of the shoulder, just the way he moves his body. He takes a touch away from you and you can forget it. Like, there's no point in fucking chasing him. You might as well pass him on. But again, yesterday, I thought he was just different class in everything he done. The goal is fucking brilliant. He gets an assist as well. He's 23 years of age, Emma. I would argue he's 5 league games into his second proper season at Liverpool. And you say the sky's the limit and the ceiling is so high. He's just unfucking believable. And to watch him yesterday, it was an absolute pleasure to watch him yesterday. Never mind the result. I just thought he was out of his world, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought that, like, he completely outperformed himself last season, and then you look at him this season, you're thinking, Jesus Christ, he's just getting better. I think it was either Kev or Ashley said that Bayern Munich dropped an absolute bollock leaving him go. They wouldn't even give him a game, and then he comes over and look, he comes in and Klopp, maybe not that he didn't fancy him, but he didn't probably see what Slot has seen in him, because he was in and out of the team. But like that drop of the shoulder, it's just so. I don't know. Somebody put up a post later on. I don't know whether it was just in one of my WhatsApps or one of ours or something. And I think it's Busquets is planning on retiring come November or something like that. I'm not going to compare him to Busquets, but if he continues on the way and the trajectory that he's on, he will be up there like that. Like in a blink of an eye, he's beside you and 5 yards past you with just a drop of a shoulder. He's such a lovely kind of. He makes it look so easy when in fact what he's doing is very fucking difficult, and you only have to look at a player as good as he who shall not be named trying to go in there and play in midfield. I think he should be put a contract put in front of him, tell him to put as many years as he wants on it and let him sign it, because he'll only hit his peak, I'd say, about 26, 27. And I just pray to God that he's still playing in the Liverpool side at that stage, because there has been obviously murmurings from his agent that he'd love him to play in, was it Real Madrid or Barcelona or something like that, and we can do without that. But it's just a lovely style of football that he plays. He just glides across, and now he's chipping in with goals. I think he might have only got 1 goal last year. He's on 2 already this season. The goal and assist, I think, is youngest to score and assist in a Merseyside derby ever at 22. Long may it continue. I'd watch reels and reels and reels of Gravenberch all day long.
Yeah, Keith. I think he plays in that Ajax side beside Frankie de Jong. He's about fucking 17 at the time.
He's the youngest ever debutant at 16.
Yeah, and I think he plays in the midfield with Frankie de Jong. But when he's coming through at Ajax, you could see him playing in that midfield with someone beside him, and he was just, everything about him is there's an elegance to him, but then there's a real kind of, everything he does is penetrating at the same time. Like, you see an awful lot of people drop a shoulder and they move by someone and then they play it to full back, or they'll go across the pitch and it'll look all pretty. But he's like, I've dropped the shoulder to space and I'm just tearing into it. I don't give a fuck. I'm going straight through the middle of this team, and it just gives you so much options. And then you see the other side of him against Atletico the other night, where your man tries to shoulder him and your man ends up on his back. And you're looking going, Gravenberch is this tall, skinny, kind of languid fella. But Keith, Emmett's saying there, get him to sign a contract. I don't think it's too much of a shout or too much of a reach to say we should be looking at Ryan Gravenberch and going, yeah, get him on a deal and get it done quickly, because he's fast becoming, and not only from Liverpool fans, I think from other teams, with England and Europe, he's fast becoming the midfielder in Europe where you go, wow, this fella is fucking special.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable player. And Klopp was horny for him for years, wasn't he? They had him down as a wonder kid. Who was it? Him, Bellingham, and was it Pedri? They had as the best players in the world. And this is when he was with Ajax. They tried to sign him, and we got him. And look, we saw going to Bayern Munich. I think he only made 6 starts or something for Bayern Munich. They were set on the Goretzka and Kimmich midfield pair, and they just never gave him a run. And even then, I think Lima could have come in, so they were putting other players in. He just wasn't getting a fair crack at the whip. So we got him 30 odd million. What did we pay? 35, was it?
35, I think, yeah.
I don't know that. We got it. He was sort of in and out in his 4th season under Klopp, and you're looking and thinking, right, there's a player there. I remember on these shows we'd be like looking at him saying, there's a player in there. If if we can unlock him, we've got something that we can work with. And it took Arne Slot to come in, and it's one of the biggest things Arne Slot done, and it's one of the things I use when morons say, it's just Klopp's team. Say, yeah, look at Ryan Gravenberch, because he's possibly the best midfield player in the world, and that's now because Arne Slot put his trust in him and his faith in him to put him back maybe 10 yards deeper than what he usually would play. He's getting on the ball, and the one thing I disagree with when Emmett said when he's talking about Busquets, and look, Busquets, I make me own for watching him all the bleeding time. I love Busquets, but the difference is Busquets was like drop the shoulder, get the space, make the pass. Gravenberch's driving into space when he's doing it. He's dropping and he's driving at teams. He's 6'3". Yeah, he's a big gangly 6'3" maybe, but he strides into these areas, and he is looking now like more actually. None of us probably foreseen the player he would turn into when he's only 23. I think having him in the team has been a huge thing for us. And you look at Zubimendi going back to Arsenal today, and look, we all wanted Zubimendi. I think we struck oil on that one, didn't we? Like that, it fell through, and we've seen Gravenberch, because there's certain people that died on a hill saying Gravenberch was crap for Liverpool, and they're still dying on that hill. And a lot of people who are in the online world will probably know what I'm on about, saying that he's not this, he's terrible, he can't play in a defensive midfield. We need to unlock him and all this crap. He's doing grand because we've won the league with him playing deep, and we look much more solid as a team when I'm playing in there. As you touched on, Gav, dropping someone in beside him, Szoboszlai run all day for you, whether it's McAllister coming in there. And we just look a better team with him in there than without. And it was a stroke of luck that we ended up getting him in there, or was it just a bit of genius by Arne Slot? And that's a thing that I always do come back to, saying he doesn't get the credit, Slot, for making that change, because a lot of people, probably wouldn't have trusted a then 21-year-old maybe, who's had a difficult first year on the back of a difficult year in Munich. You know what I mean? Like, was he a busted flush when we got him? Who knows? But I think he's really shown the qualities, and that goal yesterday was an excellent goal. Like, it looks easy, but it's not easy, because to take it on when he takes it on, that the height that the ball is, to get the perfect dip on it, it was a bleeding fantastic goal. And we're seeing him getting forward, as Emmett said, 2 goals this season already. More to come, I would say. And it's looking really, really promising. But someone said to me yesterday, I was out in the pub yesterday, and someone said, I don't want him to get any better because Madrid will come from. And you're like, please, just don't be worrying. Live in the now, and don't be fearful of what could happen in a few years. Because, like, I read stuff that is dad and all that, like, Liverpool, he's had a tough year at Bayern, and he's happy now. Liverpool have done the business for him. So, his agent might be saying one thing, but his parents are saying another.
His agent will make his money anyway off a new deal where he gets his percentage and his.
I wouldn't be panicking. You know what I mean?
You have to live in the now. He's under contract till 2028, so there's no fear there. But if it was me, I'd be going, listen, there's an extra 2-year extension. Shawnee, the thing about this is when we looked at the start of the season, we were looking at, you know, you're linked with Ekatike, you're linked with Isak, your Wirtz comes in, and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know. And then when you sign Frimpong and you sign Kirkhead, you're thinking, oh, geez, we're going to be like the bleeding, you know, the Harlem Globetrotters here going forward. And then you're thinking to yourself, that's an awful lot on Ryan Gravenberch to put him into midfield there. And if it's a McAllister and it's a, you know, Wirtz was going to play, so we're kind of going, Jesus, if Wirtz plays in one of these eights, there's an awful lot of Gravenberch, but it's actually gone the other way. And
Yep.
we've looked at all these, and we've loads of weapons, don't get us wrong, and we can shift it to a 4-3-3. Well, at the drop of a hat, there's no issue. We've done it kind of the other night against Atletico. You know, it's they've Keith said something there. They've unlocked it, and they've done it yesterday for me against Everton. They've talking about unlocking Gravenberch. What they've actually done is they went, okay, we've a lot of weapons. Could he be exposed? Yeah, but let's actually play it. Let's go the other way with this. Let's drop someone in beside him and give him a license to go a little bit more and get those opportunities to shoot away at Newcastle or to get it, because he makes a run from 45 yards from goal for that goal yesterday. It's not like he's standing in the box and he loops it in the net. He makes a run off Salah. Salah's 40 yards from goal. He runs from behind Salah and says, put it in there. And then the assist, he's in a really positive position to give Ekatike the thing. And I think you have to give Slot a bit of credit here, because he could have easily said, we've loads of weapons, McAllister and Gravenberch, you just sit there and control and get it to these boys and they'll do the business. Whereas it's gone the other way, Shawnee. We've loads of weapons. They're not watching this fella, and he's literally going through the middle of people's teams and then opening up for everyone else. Slot does deserve a lot of credit here, I think.
Yeah, and look, I think that sort of, and there was a little bit of hesitation about how we looked in the first couple of games in terms of, you know, Liverpool going home now and flying forward. I think we're a little bit more, what the antithesis of Arsenal, actually. I think we're a bit more susceptible now and taking a little bit more risk at the hope of creating something. And I loved his interview yesterday. I don't know what it's just a Dutch thing. Dutch people just seem to, they're incapable of telling lies. I think they just
tell you as it is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's real plain, and it's kind of there's never anything hidden behind it. He just said, look, listen, we've been instructed that if we see the space to run into it, I seen the space there and I ran into it, and Mal gave me the ball, and obviously I was happy enough to finish it. I just think maybe last year 1-0, if Gravenberch gets that ball out McAllister, he's probably holding on to it and going out wide and saying, "No, do you know what? We'll hold on to this and probably we won't give up a chance." For the Ekatike goal, I mean, he's probably saying, "I'll hold on to this and we won't give up a chance and we'll just maintain possession and we'll score on the next attack." But now it's boom, boom, boom. It's quick and it's in behind. And again, it's all about execution with these things. But yeah, look, we seen last year that Slot was playing 4 and 5 systems in certain games. I think there was games where he was like, "Oh, this is not working, I'll change it." And the amount of games he won
and
the second half last year.
Half. That's why.
Yeah, and he's even he's already said about Gravenberch being a centre half this year at times, and we've seen him dropping in. And I think what happens when you have a player like Gravenberch, because he's a bit of a unicorn. I think it's the mad thing where I think, for me, footballers that look the best look like the ones that there's no effort in it to them. Like you see Mbappe flying around and all, and you're thinking, like, that looks like a lot of work what he's doing there. He's fucking flicking balls around, and that looks really hard what he's doing. But the ones I enjoy the most are the ones who go, "Oh, look at him. He's like he's playing a different sport." Like Pedri the other night against Newcastle. They just float around, and there never seems to be players near them. Like the amount of times yesterday you see lads flailing at Gravenberch, trying to foul him, trying to get close enough to foul him, and they just can't. He's never fouled. Like the 2 fouls you seen Atletico the other night, they didn't know what to do with him. They're like, "You're not supposed to be there, so just foul him," and he just causes havoc. But yeah, I think he's a unicorn. I genuinely do. I think what happened is now I think he's ended up in the perfect place for Ryan Gravenberch. I think he's come in now. He seems like a great bit of stuff. Very chill. Don't underestimate the sort of influence Virgil will have on him. He's operating at a different level, I think, to most players at the moment, and I think that
He looks like
only
he
really
knows he's a huge part of what's going on here. He's not just, and we have Gravenberch.
and
He
again,
seems to be, he is the main man in midfield, and I think he's playing on it.
yeah, and again, that's sort of, that's why I don't really care about Madrid or the Barca talk, because I think if you're a big important player playing and winning trophies for a team, like, look, Liverpool are going to pay you. Yeah, we've already seen Liverpool. It's a different Liverpool now. The ambition is there. Like, I don't know where the EBU's head's at. That's a different story. But like, you can't be, as a player now, you're kind of going, oh, Sabozloi and Gravenberch, we could probably go play anywhere else in the world if we wanted in the next couple of years. But like, why would we leave here? Like, you know what I mean? It's all coming up Millhouse for us. He's unbelievable to watch. He's unbelievable to watch. The only thing I will say, and just be honest, I'd love to have an able deputy there to kind of give him a breather when he needs one. Now, I think he already said yesterday, Slot, that he's not going to play against Southampton, which is music to my ears. But like, I like the look of Neoni and all, and again, it's the sort of thing people saying, if Virgil went down or whatever, it's very, very hard to replicate what these players bring to a team and replace them. But I would like more of a life. I like to even give him a half an hour at the end of a game and haul him off, because I think he needs to be protected, definitely, because he went from not playing a lot of football to playing loads of football last year, and that it kind of did sort of tell at the back end, and we were lucky enough that we had the thing wrapped up anyway, fucking by Easter, before we were cracking open the eggs. But it did tell in Europe, and I think if we're going to go really far and be top contenders in the Champions League, I think a lot of it is going to rely on the availability and the condition that Gravenberch is in when you get to the sort of the money end of them Champions League, because he is that type. He's the type of player that like there's loads of comparisons of Vieira and Yaya and all, and I get them, but the thing is about them players, you can't really game plan to stop them, because it's not just an ability thing, it's a physicality thing, and he's such a difficult player to take out of the game when he's in a game that he just causes. And then now he's starting to run past the strikers and score goals. Like, what like, you know what I mean? It's brilliant, and I'm with you, like, in terms of Slot does deserve sort of a tap on the back, because I think we're seeing a little bit of an evolution of Ryan Gravenberch, and you need to remember as well, he's 23. He's 23 years of age, which is it's frightening, and the buzzword now is ceiling. Like, Gravenberch's ceiling is that he dominates European football for 5 to 10, the next 5 to 10 years, if he has luck with injuries and he's looked after and taken care of by us, because we're obviously the custodians of him now at the moment. So yeah, look, an absolute fucking a joy to watch. Just breezes around, and you know, like, you kind of get detractors and naysayers, this, that, and the other, like, but like Keith said, like, sometimes when something doesn't happen, it just leads to something better happening, and that's exactly what's happened here with Gravenberch, because he could have easily found. There was talk for him getting shifted. I actually think I sold him last year in one of the shows that we done, to be honest with you.
Well,
that's
you did. Keith did. Yeah. Keith sold everyone.
That's me putting my hand up and saying, there you go. Like, how much of a fucking idiot am I?
I think it might have been before the start of the last season.
Yeah.
And I think it was more down to
completely wrong on it.
What is he? Yeah. You know, it was more of, is he a deep line midfielder? Is he an 8? Does he want to play in the 10? What is he? And that was more. It was more kind of a fitting in thing rather than a quality thing.
Ryan Gravenberch is a year 2002 to 2008 midfielder where they do it all. He's not a 6'8" or a 10. Yeah. He's a midfielder. But
you see, that's where it's coming in now, because he's sitting in this deep line midfield, but he is playing that. You know, he is playing that role where he can go in and just be one of those 8s, as they call it now. He's literally just drifting, and he's doing it himself. It's not like he's moving in there and then, I'm here now, give me the ball. He's literally just moving from that position to that position with the ball, and it's just opening up everything for people. I just thought he was phenomenal, and I wanted to kind of single him out a little bit before we talk about anything else. Before we move on, NordVPN is not the host, they're the sponsor of this show. The link is in the description if you're interested in a VPN, so you can get all your sports and your shows and streaming them in different countries and stuff. The link is in the description. All the security involved and all all of that. And it goes on to 10 devices. There's big reductions on all the plans. So check it out in the description at NordVPN. Emma, I'm going to come back to you because we'll touch on the game. I thought Liverpool were really good first half. It was 2-0. They could have been outside. They took their foot off the pedal second half for me. Although I will give credit to Everton. I thought Everton were a little bit more aggressive second half, and they looked like they wanted to play second half. They looked very timid first half, but second half they come out and they made it a bit more difficult for us. Now we've had an awful lot of narratives over, the 3 minutes injury time is just fucking hilarious to me. It was 5 subs and a goal. It's 3 minutes and that's the end of it. But for all the huffing and puffing and people going, Everton were the better side in the second half, they probably were the better side in the second half, if I'm being honest, Emma. But Liverpool just looked like we'll just keep them at arm's length here. We've had fucking 3 games in 6 days. We get this out of the way. We played Wednesday night. This is a 12:30 kickoff, and it doesn't matter especially early in the season. And we kept them at arm's length, and we won the game, and we move on. But it seems to be no matter what style we win a game in now, everyone has a fucking issue with it, which I'm all for, Emma. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm loving it myself. It's like we're winning like games late. We're losing 2-goal leads, and then we go out, keep hold of a 2-goal lead. Well, concede 1, but don't concede 2, and yet people are still making comments like you said there. The 3 minutes added on, like 5 subs. I think they probably weren't all individual subs, so it's not 30 seconds each.
I think 30 seconds a sub, but there was probably 1 or 2 double subs in there.
Yeah, exactly. And Everton, they were a bit more steely in the second. They kind of had a little bit more kind of minerals about them in the second half than they did in the first half. I thought we absolutely blitzed them in the first half, all probably bar the last 10 minutes when they started coming back into it. But even with that, I think they only had 2 shots on target in the whole game. Like, so it was a lot of kind of huffing and puffing, and I think we probably saw what we wanted to see in the first 4 games, was a little bit more better kind of game management from ourselves. Like, do you know what I mean? But I never really feared that they were going to get that second goal. Grealish, I think, is probably the best move he could have ever made, was going to Everton and get away. If you listen to his interview afterwards, he says he's kind of nearly playing again with a smile on his face. He's waking up on match days and he wants to go and play football. Kind of had lost that at Man City. I think he's doing really well for Everton.
So do
I think Everton themselves are probably doing a hell of a lot better. I think David Moyes is a really good manager. But I think he probably got it wrong in the first half with the players that he was playing and how he wanted to play, and then he kind of let the shackles off maybe towards the end of the first half. But look, it's 5 from 5. Like I said, we're seeing slightly getting better. You see people saying, "Oh, Wirtz is benched now. Oh, he's an absolute flop." I was delighted to see him left out of the game. Somebody was having an argument with me saying I said that maybe a derby isn't a game for him with the way it's going to be. Well, you'd expect it to be blood and thunder, and then it ended up not being that way. So I was delighted to see him get a little bit of a break. Not because I thought he's been playing bad. It's just that maybe it was going to be a different type of game than what Florian Wirtz would excel in. So we got to rest players as well. Got to see Isak come on. Ekitike, I'm already in love with him. Like, I loved Darwin Núñez. This fella is like Darwin Núñez on steroids. Like, his work rate, his touches. I just think, like we touched on earlier on, I think we're just only going to get better when this all starts clicking. And I think we maybe saw a little bit at the start of that yesterday, and possibly the first half against Atletico as well. I think we've been playing some unbelievable football. So when we can kind of nearly maintain that over the course of a game, I'd love to see us get a third goal at some point. Like, I would have liked to see it go 3-1. But I think it's going to come. Overall, I thought we were a really good first half. Not great second half, but still got the job done in a different way to what we've got it done. So, new excuses needed from rival fans. But I'm here for it all day long.
One of my favourites yesterday was the fact that Conor Bradley fouled Jack Grealish 7 times in the game yesterday and didn't get booked,
Oh
despite the
wow.
fact that Conor Bradley only made 4 fouls yesterday, which was really good. I enjoyed that one.
It's a
Keith,
Dewsbury Hall. It's like I've never
the
seen
Dewsbury
someone get a
Hall
yellow
thing is
card.
mad,
But the
but
referee was clearly telling them
yeah,
wait for the whistle, and he had warned them already because
yeah,
he had done it previously.
yeah.
Laws of the game, like
And the narrative to come out to go, I've never seen someone booked for taking a quick free kick. It wasn't a quick free kick. A quick free kick is when you put the ball down and go, and the referee allows it. When the referee blows a whistle and stops and says, that's where it is, I'm wait there now, and I'm going to go up here now and make sure everything's all right, and then you decide to take it before he blows the whistle. That's not a quick free kick. That's you taking a free kick when you shouldn't have. Do you know what I mean? It's two completely different things. But anyway, that's the narrative. That's one of the narratives. Keith, I'd seen an awful lot of people yesterday were happy with the win. I listened to a couple of podcasts after, and people and Liverpool fans were saying any win in the derby is absolutely fine. And I'm a little bit like that. And again, it's the start of the season, and you take your wins and you keep building. But there was an awful lot of people afterwards saying, look, delighted with the win, but the second half, Liverpool just probably dropped. I've no problem with a drop off because of the hard week, but they probably dropped that little bit too much. They just needed to be a little bit more intense, probably for an extra 10 minutes, and they would have seen out that game and won. Is that a worry for you, or is it just a culmination of the hard week, players still coming back in, a tough start to the season? What is it? Are you worried at all about that?
No, I'm not worried. That's not to say, we won't have sticky periods. I think the most important thing is that we win these games and that we get the 3 points, and how we do it doesn't ultimately matter to me, because I think this team will get better. And while we might, I'm not saying we're going to have an invincible season like fans of other clubs are claiming after a game or two. I think what we're going to see with Liverpool is we're going to get better than what we've had till now, but without harking back to the Jota thing, the big worry I had at the start of the season was that, the passing of Diogo Jota was going to have a huge burden on the lads, and we were never, in my opinion, going to be, swashbuckling. Too many changes to the squad. It will take a while for these lads to adapt. Florian Wirtz being you'd expect Isak, when he does hit the ground, will hit the ground quicker than Wirtz. Say Ekatike, he's at the ground flying. You know what I mean? But it'll take time for them to all to adapt. Take time for them to get used to Slot's ways, as well as being in England. But then you've the older players there who have lost a good friend in Diogo Jota. That'll take the toll on them. And I think just get through the 2 international breaks and see where you are. And if Liverpool are in the position where they're winning games without playing well, but are showing signs that, and I think they showed the first half yesterday, and I think they showed it in the Atletico first half as well, that they can be dominant when it does eventually click. When we do have Alexander Isak up to match fitness, when we do have Florian Wirtz, who hasn't been that bad, he's getting lashed out. I think if you take away the price tag of a player, which I don't do when it's Declan Rice, by the way, so I'm a hypocrite when it comes to this. But I think if you're looking at a player, he gets the ball, he tries to move forward, he tries to play quick. Some of the passes aren't coming off him because I think he's forcing it a bit too much. But I've no doubts that he will come, as the season grows. I've no doubts that Wirtz will be a big game player for Liverpool. So, there's a lot of changes, but something we said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about a lot of players coming in, Arsenal have more players coming in than we have. Man City have more players coming in over since Christmas than we have. So it's not a bad time to add in these players. And the fact that we've done it now and we're winning and we're stretching leads, it just means to me that, we will improve by I think Shawnee might have mentioned sort of by November earlier on, when you're in that sort of, that mixer by November, what's the team looking like then? And that's where I'll be looking for Liverpool. But like this team is a tough team to play. Right, we concede a lot of goals, but that's why we're putting a lot of effort into other areas as well. And teams will get chances against us, but the beauty of scoring late means that the other team is nervous and we're confident as well. So even if Everton had have got an equaliser yesterday and only 3 minutes was going up on the, I'd still have been thinking, right, we're going to bleed and snatch this. And I'm sure the players would have been like, right, we're not going to panic here because we're going to snatch this if they do equalise. So it's a psychological thing going through the players as well. I just think, we're in a good nick here. And in fairness to Everton, they're better than I thought they'd be. In fairness to them, Moyes is a decent coach to a level. Dewsbury Hall's a great addition for them. He doesn't get the credit because Grealish is getting all the props, but they've added in Dewsbury Hall, they've added in Grealish, they've, Jake O'Brien's 6'7" or something playing fullback. That might be a worry for them, but he's a solid player. Like, they're not a bad team, Everton. I don't think they'll be as bad as they have for the last few years. But look, we went into that derby and we won it comfortably, in my opinion, even though Everton sort of fought back. Even when you look at the set, and I know we're all big fans of XG here, but even for the second half, Liverpool had a better XG than them. But that tells you then that we were expected to score more goals than they were. So sometimes you look at these things in isolation and it's, oh, Jesus, it's a worry. Everton, they're going to do something. When you look back at it in the cold light of day, it was never really a worry, and that's what we take from that. I think we're good and we're going to get better.
Was it you, Gav, that said on one of the shows during the week that you like it when Everton are
I like when Everton come to Anfield and they're confident.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Everton teams come to Anfield and they're fucking appalling, and it's a harder game.
Yeah,
genuine. I remember being at Anfield 22 maybe. Origi and Robertson score. And Everton are shy, but they're so fucking hard to get around. They just camp on the edge of the box. They just camp. They just have no interest in it. Like, I remember being at that derby, standing in the Kop, and 2 minutes into the game, Everton literally, the ball dropped on the edge of Everton's box and they just belted it the full length of the pitch, right? And stood exactly where they were standing and just went, yeah, we'll just wait here for you to come back with us. Whereas I was expecting Everton to give a bit more in this game, and they showed a bit more, probably from 35
The goal was great.
Their goal was a really good goal, but they didn't do enough of that, and it's a bit like Keith said there. Teams will go so far and then they go, oh, if we push extra here. Like, funny enough, people in the chat there are saying, if they went to 4 minutes, right, of injury time, Liverpool had a 4-on-1 as the ball broke when he blew up the whistle. So if we went to 4 minutes, we'd probably make it 3-1, the sort of way. And I think that's where I think teams will end up being. And it goes back to what I was saying about a couple of years ago. Liverpool used to pen you in and you were terrified to go up the fucking pitch because they'd win it and then they just come straight back at you. And they were so confident in what they were doing, both defensively and offensively, in any situation, that they were comfortable in it. And if they're comfortable, you certainly aren't. And that's where I think Liverpool end up being. And that's where Arsenal need to get to. And I hope Liverpool do as well. Shawnee, we win the game. There's all the narrative, there's all the messing. But I think for the first time yesterday, I looked at the starting lineup and I looked at the bench and went, yeah, right, this is making lots of sense now. Slot, and I wanted to say something back to you as well. Slot comes out straight after the game, like you said, and said, you won't be seeing them players during the week. And that's a huge shift from last season when you go, they might be, and he played a load of them in League Cups. Mm-hmm. I think he's learned from that period you were talking about earlier. But that was the first time yesterday I went, fucking hell, and there's a couple not even on that bench. That's where the difference is for me going into this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were very critical last year, Slot, because he seemed to only trust 12, 13 lads, and we got away with it. And again, it showed at the back end against PSG. They ran all over us in both games. I know we beat them there, but they ran all over us really in both games, and we probably could have went through. You go out in pens, but look, it is what it is. But I don't think he rotated half as much as he should have last year. Mind you, I thought we were a bit pragmatic in games when we went ahead last year and just fucking took the sting out of them, and nothing really happened last 20 in games, except we might go down and get a third and nick a third. And he said already at the start of the season that he wasn't happy with the amount of games he only won by 1 goal last year, and it was something that he looked to improve on this year. But I think he knows himself now what's required in the Premier League. I think he thought there was probably a bigger reward for being forced in that Champions League phase last year than ended up being. he missed a chance to kind of rotate in them games. We go deep in the Carabao. Obviously, we lose the final, and the FA Cup is the FA Cup. I think the lads on the fringe who didn't play really any, and again, that was a symptom of not rotating much because you were literally taking lads in out of cold. And now, listen, I think any Liverpool selection should be beating Plymouth. I'm not. Don't think I'm talking out of skill when I say that. But you're still asking lads to commit out of cold and do a job for you, and they hadn't got enough football in their legs. I don't think that will be an issue in the earlier rounds of the cups this year because he seems to be utilising lads way more than he already is. Now the talk is that the likes of Kieran Morrison and Jaden Dans and a couple of others have been called up and trained with the first team today to probably play on Wednesday, and I'm fine with that. To be honest with you, because as much as I'd love a run in the Carabao Cup, I'd love to go with the big two this year, and go all the way in them two. And I just, unless you're really Man City, under Pep, I don't think winning the Carabao is not. It's conducive to winning more stuff long term in terms of maybe the next season that sets you up. But I think in the same season, it's really difficult to have a good run in that Carabao and kick on and do really well in the league in Europe. We seen it the year when we chased the quad. We got the Carabao over the even Klopp's last season. We get the Carabao over the hill easily, and then you just flag towards the back end because the extra 3-4 games you maybe played in the run up to that takes its toll on you. So I think Klopp, and again, Slot turned around saying, "Listen, Southampton can take it to the bank. He's not playing on Wednesday, and I don't care how you feel about that." So he's learned. You hear it's prevalent in any post match that you watch if you're like me and you're a hooer for post match content. Every single every single player you listen to and talk, that they're just nailing down two things, and it's recovery and sleep. You hear them talk recovery and sleep is literally all they talk about. It's like we just recover and we make sure we're ready for the next one. You see it in that post and that and the other, and it's obviously drilled into them that when you're not playing, you're recovering. When you're not training, you're recovering. Because we're in that stage of the season now where you're recovering. You're probably doing light sessions, and then you're going in and you're having a look at who you're coming up against the weekend and the way you're setting up. And I think that's kind of what set us apart last year. I think the fitness team, the lads in the background, deserve huge credit, and I love that. We're very transparent with it. It feels like I think Klopp, Slot. I say Klopp again, Freudian slip. I think Slot is he's probably too transparent with it in terms of the way he's talked about Isak. Like he's literally like, I think we're gonna know what Isak's having for his fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this stage because he's like, no, we play this, play that, and we'll ease him in this, that, and the other. But he seems to know exactly what he wants from every single player in that squad. And you're seeing he's not afraid to throw a Rio in there, and I'd like to see the Italian lad play a little bit more.
I think he plays Tuesday.
Yeah, I just. He seems to have it down. He seems to know exactly what he wants. I think he has a better read on the league than he does last year. He knows the capabilities of the squad. I think that's why you're seeing the shake-up. Because I'd imagine when they were on that bus floating around Merseyside on that bus in May, they would have said, well, Arnie, where do you think we go from here? He probably said, well, do you know what? A lot of them lads who were hanging around last year, not playing enough football, they need to go. And you need...
Yeah.
Yeah, but 100%. Yeah, I think he probably said, "Well, I need more lads who are capable of playing for us and doing a job." And I think we're seeing that already. Like you've two number nines now. Look, I said it yesterday on Twitter X or whatever you call that app now. Like I think we bought the two best strikers on the market. I think this summer. I think we got the two best ones. I think we genuinely do. I feel like we got the two best ones now, and like I love it. I love Ekatike going. Yeah, that's the man. That's the manager's problem. I don't really care. So yeah, I don't know about you boys, but I feel like someone's talking to me from the grave because I can hear the loudest sound, but I can't see any movement.
I think that might have been someone in Emma's house talking to
Yeah, is he in the room with us now?
Emma must have a Ouija board there beside him while he's talking.
I thought I hit mute. Sorry.
Yeah, go on. I'll have a spice bag. Come here. I think. Sorry, Dan asked there, will there be a preview show for the Southampton game? Of course there will, Dan. I'll run you through all the shows now in a minute. But yeah, I know the big two trophies. No, I just think the squad he has there, I just think he's trusts an awful lot more of them, and I think that's gonna show. And it's funny you say like he's given out about 1-goal games, and he wasn't happy over that. I think he's looking for more games where I definitely. Up until and definitely after the next international break, he's going to be looking for games where we're going, lads, we're 3 up on 60 here, because I need to bring these 3 or 4 lads on, right? They need to come on, and I don't want to do it at 2-1, and I don't want to do it at 1-0. I want 2 and 3 so we can go and do it, and that plays a huge part in it, because if he is 2-0 up or 2-1 up and he brings on a Leone and something happens, like, what the fuck are you doing? So he has to think of that as well. But I just think with this squad, I think he can move it around, and I think it's going to be a really exciting 11 on Tuesday against Southampton. Sorry, Dan, I will let you know. What day is today? Sunday. Tomorrow we're doing Patreon show. We're going to have Reaction Extra where we look back at the highlights of Everton and have a chat through them. We're also going to do a show on YouTube where we will preview Southampton. We'll have reaction to Southampton on Tuesday night, and then the rest of the week I'm not too sure because everything's coming thick and fast, but we're banging out a show nearly a day at this stage, and sometimes 2. If you want to have a look at our Patreon, the link is in the description as well. Everyone's enjoying it by the looks of it, and the feedback's really good. Try it for a month. If you like it, great. If you don't, get rid of it. We're not going to fall out with you. You know the rules at this stage. Emma, anything else before we go, apart from the order you've placed in the Chinese there a couple of minutes ago?
No, I didn't place an order in the Chinese. Okay. My curry is downstairs. It's a homemade curry.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. Lucky. Right. Look.
Yeah, no. It's
lucky.
No. I do have. I've 2.
We have McDonald's at home.
I've 2 Fairfield curries lined up just in case it's shit.
Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah, full of not like ending your Sunday night full of Uncle Ben's.
Just to touch on something that you said about him going.
It's talking about the rice there, by the way.
Not your Uncle Ben. Go on.
I'd agree. I think we need to go goals up and I think that's maybe what we've been trying to do and kind of nearly failing, because as much as it's great getting late winners and all, there's only so many times that our players can go to the well, and you don't want them going to the well. You don't want them having to play at full tilt for 95 to 100 minutes. So I think we're slowly getting to a place where, and I know I said earlier on, would have liked to get an extra, would have liked to go 3-1 against Everton. I think that's what his plan is to get a lead. Like you said, we're 3-0 up here on 60. I need to get these lads on. I think that's where he's aiming for, and we're just slowly kind of going to get there and be able to then make the 5 substitutes. I think he'll probably make 4 from the midfield forward and then keep 1 for the defence throughout the season and rotate the shit out of it. And I think that's probably what he couldn't do last year, but he's got his own players in now. Lads he wants, that he trusts, and I think that's the plan long term.
Yeah, he'll be more
and to probably go deep in all of them. I don't think he'll sack off any of them. Yeah. I think he'll probably want to go get a run in all of them to give those lads 90 minutes here and there.
Well, that's the line you have to go down. You have to say to yourself, that's our League Cup team. And do what Klopp done. He used to just play them every time. And if they get through, they get through. If they don't, they don't. Keith, anything else before we go? And somebody is asking, what are the tunes of the week?
I don't think Garrett like my tune of the week. My tune of the week is by Somber, 12 to 12. What a banger of a song. Get on it. Right. Somber is the business. Yeah, Somber is third one that I've heard. All great songs. Get on it. Gar won't be for you. Might as well skip it. Won't be enough guitars in this. This is a rumpty diddly little dancey number.
A rumpty diddly little dancey number.
Yeah.
That's the first. That's the first time that's the first time that sentence has ever been said in the history of humankind.
A rumpty dumpty little dance number.
Should be a. Should be a music critic.
I know that chap. Yeah, Youngfellow's going to his concert next year.
There you go. With the kids.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Somber.
Yeah.
You'll know the hits.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm at the finding this Instagram page that's just doing throwback tunes, like, so it's going
Oh, you were
from
having a lovely
everyone.
time. Was that the one where you
Yeah.
showed us the share video the other day?
Yeah, she was on that, but Duke So in Love 1994 dance tune.
Yeah.
Honest to God, absolutely pumping out in the gaff the last few days. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Send me
It's
the
a
link to the
You put
Instagram
that
page,
in.
Johnny.
I won't say,
I
I
What
won't
is
say
it?
rumpty diddly. It's a little toe tapper. That's what I'd
Rumpty
say.
diddly little dancey
It's not a
number.
A
rumpty
rumpty
dumpty little
diddly.
dance number.
Put it
Yeah.
onto the Rumpty Diddly little dance number playlist. What a
Yeah.
playlist.
Nothing else, Keith. Is that it?
Ava was
Somber?
asking, have I listened to any of Ren? Yeah, Ren is deadly. Anyone that doesn't know Ren, go on to
Yeah, quality.
the stuff on like TikTok and all, played deadly. When
I
he
heard
plays
too.
the
It's
bus
Ren.
and all.
I heard.
Have you seen your man on Have you seen your man on TikTok who looks like Anthony Gordon that makes up footballers for all the songs? All the songs for all the footballers.
No.
Anthony Gordon, and he's
Oh,
going
I have,
inside.
yeah.
He had another one. And Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck for his opinions. And the wordless radical. He's
So
like a Bob
he
Dylan.
Just,
He's
he
like
just
it.
sings all his
It's
opinions, does he?
He sings. It's like if Anthony Gordon and Bob Dylan had a one night stand. That this is literally what had happened.
Right,
Now
okay.
I don't know about the biology of that, but you can get
you
where
know
I'm
where you're
going.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. But
I heard a song the
yeah.
other day, and I ended up listening to a couple of songs by the Pigeon Detectives, which I forgot I liked. A couple of good songs they have as well.
It must have been on serious drugs, and they come up with the name of that.
I know, yeah. I don't know. There's probably a really meaningful meaning behind it, but I don't know if they're a Rumpty Dumpty Diddly kind of dance kind of thing. But listen, not many are bar somber.
Do you know who's great? Olivia Dean. She's great.
Yeah, she's quality, isn't she? And Sam Fender, our song with Sam Fender's deadly.
Yeah,
but
and I love that on the inside training the other day when Isak came in for his first day. It looks like Liverpool just had bleeding Sam Fender pumping out all over the accent, and the fucking Geordie heads were falling off all over the place. On Twitter, I go, these cheeky bastards are playing Sam Fender, and fucking Isak sitting there getting his bum tiddled by all the boys at the coffee table. It's fucking brilliant. It's fucking great.
Anything else before we go, Shawnee?
No, just check your man out on TikTok. Oh, Andy, when Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekatike gonna be playing up top of Liverpool this season.
Oh, fucking hell.
I know it now.
You know.
Of course he knows. He knows everything on TikTok. Nothing goes on TikTok without being put across Emmett's desk first.
I just want to say rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, who got shot there on an opinion on his opinion. So
Dylan says it sounds like it's the Ultimate Warrior singing them songs.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, lads, this fella is Emma, you'll have to get the name. He's fucking gas. It's like him and Carbo. Oh, he has him. Do you have him?
Him and Carbo.
Hang on.
Anyone who doesn't know Carbo out there,
Carbo is
just
the
go on
go.
and find Carbo.
He's the go.
Do you have him now? Come on, Emma. Tell me you have him.
Yeah,
No, don't play it. Don't play it. I get done for
Con-
copyright. Don't act the
No,
boss.
he won't get it. He's not going
Well,
to.
he's not going to do you.
All right, go on, play it.
Listen, play it.
Hang on.
You probably charge me royalties, this prick.
Well, he eventually Aaron Ramsey has joined Newcastle on loan. The English keeper used to play for Arsenal. Will he eventually take the number one spot from Nick Pope? I remember him at Sheffield United, but he was born in Stoke. Aaron Ramsey has joined Newcastle on loan. The English keeper used to play for Arsenal. Will he eventually take the number
What's
one
his
spot
name?
from Nick Pope? I remember him at Sheffield United, but he was born in Stoke.
Show him.
Aaron
He
Ramsey
actually.
has joined Newcastle on loan.
Oh, hang on.
The English keeper used to play for Arsenal. Will he eventually
This is
take the
taking a
number one
mad
spot from
tangent.
Nick Pope?
Emma doesn't know what he's doing with his camera.
What's
Look.
going on?
Aaron Ramsey has joined Newcastle on loan. The English keeper used to play for Arsenal. Will he eventually take the number one spot from Nick
Well, we
Pope?
can't see it. It's too much light. Just
I'll put it in the Telegram. Everybody sign up to
okay.
our...
Grant.
It's like your
we'll
man.
knock it off
bleeding-
now. I've
it's
heard it
like-
fucking 11 times.
It's like your man Alex Turner out of the bleeding Arctic Monkeys got the job. Got the job reading out the news.
Here's one about racist. Oh, hang on.
Jesus
No, it's not. Actually,
Christ.
sorry. His name is not Connor.
Look, Emma's fucking
Don't say
all
his
brilliant.
name when he can't
Emma's
do it
forgot
for
the curry
copyright.
downstairs now because we've decided to talk TikTok now. Look at Emma. Look
Hold
at the
on.
big excited head in them.
Yeah, Curry's gonna be freezing.
Uncle Ben is down there. We're going, is he coming down or what?
Whatever you do, take your time, Emma, will you? Don't
Yeah.
leave us in suspense.
We've nothing to be doing here.
I'll put
at
it.
11.
I'll put it in the Telegram.
Thanks,
Or
bud.
I'll put it in the comments of the show as well.
Thanks, bud. Right.
Do you know what, Gav?
Go on.
This is a promise.
Right.
I'm going to get onto him and I'm going to get him to do the new team tune for the Fatback 4 on the Sunday.
Are you?
I swear on my life. I'm
Right.
gonna see how much you call. I'm gonna revolute in this
Well,
moment.
the first thing you should tell
said-
him is it's not called that anymore. So you can just tell him it's the Sunday Night Cop, and
No.
we go from there.
It used to be known as the Fatback 4, but now it's known as the
Yeah. That's what we'll do. Give him loads of info and just let him go bananas.
I'm literally gonna get onto him. Yeah, I will.
Tell him we've £8 in the petty cash there if he's interested.
Yeah. What can you do?
What can you do for £8?
Yeah, tell him I'll get Blade Carbo to do a Blade collab with him and
Carbo won't be doing it
Luigi's.
for £8. Carbo's fucking huge money at this stage.
Yeah,
That's true.
Carbo's fucking top end now. Does he do cameos? Carbo.
I'd say.
does whatever.
He don't. He
Actually, I got one of them off Carbo. Was it for my birthday?
the best €12 I ever spent in my life.
Was it £12? Was it for my birthday? Was it?
That was when you were doing the diet thing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Carbo sitting there with fucking fried eggs and sausages all over the place. Going, fair play to you for eating healthy.
Good luck on the diet.
That was fucking brilliant. Right,
Carbo
Anyone
with
who
about
doesn't know,
800
get on the carbo.
Carbo with about 8. He had about 800 calories on his t-shirt, telling Gav he was doing well.
Right, anyway,
there's
we
no
better
broad
go.
on TikTok of one Zoe Dunn doing cameos.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
just a black screen, just going.
I hear.
And that's on,
It's getting dark. It's getting dark now. Fucking
Right, we
hell.
have to go.
Yeah,
we have
wrap
to
her
go.
up.
Anyway,
Before we get cancelled.
check out Carbo. £12 for a cameo of Carbo. You can't go wrong with that. £8 for your man if he does the new team tune. That's Shawnee's new job now.
I'm gonna
He's the head of
message-
team tunes. And like I said, we've loads of shows coming up this week, so check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on Patreon if you want to as well. Check out NordVPN, and another packed week, to be fair. Thanks to Keith, thanks to Emma, thanks to Shawnee, thanks to everyone in the chat. What was it again, Keith? A riddly diddly,
A rumpty diddly.
rumpty diddly little dance tune.
Dancing
I always
number.
remember that one. Somber. That's where you need to go. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.